fresh is best. Nothing beats using fresh herbs, fresh out of the garden. This is my own herb garden. So you can see I've got a whole range of basil, parsley, garlic chive, coriander, oregano, mint, sage, thyme. But for this recipe that we've got coming up, I need a little bit of basil. Oh, it's beautiful. I need a little bit of coriander, cilantro to the American viewers, and some beautiful fresh oregano. That's all I need. Welcome back. Today we're going to be making some vegan burgers. I've already started out with some pots of water on the stove coming up to the boil. Right, first of all we're going to start making burger patty. So we need some sweet potato, some quinoa, some brown onion. Start by doing the sweet potato. It's going to take the longest to cook. Let's take the ends off, clean those up. So you're leaving the skin on? Leaving the skin on. You can take the skin off if you wish. There's no need to take the skin off. It's clean, it's been washed. The skin actually has quite a lot of proteins and nutrients in it that you might otherwise lose if you peel it. But there's no harm in taking the skin off or leaving it on. Just into small dices like this. So it'll cook nice and quickly in the pot. Don't really need to worry too much about precision. It's all going to get mashed up in the final product. Just about there. Into your boiling water. And I'm just going to put a lid on that. I'm going to slice up my onion.
Let's talk about slicing onions and tears.
A lot of people don't like the fumes that come from onions. I'm kind of used to it. As I said, I've been doing work as a chef for 13 years now. The fumes are actually only found in the base of your onion, in the bottom third. Now, many people talk about peeling underwater or anything like that. You're just going to lose the flavour from your onion into the water. So you've got the core here of your onion. This bottom third of your onion is where the fumes are. If you don't like the fumes, then don't cut into that part of the onion. Cut it off, get rid of it. Basically what this core also does, that holds the onion together. So if you want your onion to fall apart nicely, you want to take the core out. If you want your onion to hold together, leave the core in. So I'm just going to slice this nice and thick. And weigh about 100 grams of quinoa. Now, quinoa is great. Out of all the grains and all the pulses that you can use, this probably has the highest percentage of protein in it, sitting at about 8%. But it also comes with about 7% carbohydrate, so it's really good, really balanced. It's great for people who need to work out. Vegans especially, it's a very good source of protein. So 100 grams, and I'll put that into the other pot of boiling water. Now, while we're waiting for those to cook, we can start making the sauce. We're going to make a tomato relish. This is going to involve tomatoes, garlic, tomato juice, mustard seeds, and a little bit of olive oil. So I'll start by taking the core out of the tomatoes. With a sharp knife, just rotate it around. And again, this just needs to be roughly diced. This doesn't need to be precision at all. It's going to be cooked down into a sauce. That's the other great thing about wooden cutting boards. Is all you need to do is look after it. Wipe it down with a damp cloth. We're just going to get 1 clove of garlic out of here. Now, best way to do this, you've got the core up the end there. Let's take the end of that off. Big enough over the top. You tap. The clove will come free of the skin quite easily. Again, this just needs to be roughly chopped. You don't want to leave this too rough because of course garlic is a very strong flavour and you don't want any flavour in particular to overpower anything else. And that's done. Now just put the pot on the stove top. Nice high heat. So that with a little bit of olive oil. We're just going to let that heat up slightly. Now the pot's up to heat. We're going to add our tomato to our pot. Steam. You just want to cook this tomato until it just starts to break down. A lot of the moisture will, as it cooks, the moisture will come out of the tomato and it will soften up. You don't want to lose the entire integrity of this. You don't want to keep my sauce a little bit chunky. I'm just going to cook this for about 2 to 3 minutes, just until the tomato starts to break down slightly. While we're waiting for that, we've got these beautiful herbs that we got from our garden just earlier. These are all pesticide-free, organically grown, beautiful fresh herbs. Some herbs, of course, have a lot softer stems than others. Parsley and coriander, or cilantro for our American viewers, have a nice soft stem. You can leave the stem on for that quite well. I mean, the Asians use every single part of the coriander plant: leaf, stem, roots, and seeds. The seeds, of course, make coriander spice. The roots generally turn into a lot of sauces they make, and the leaves, beautiful in salads. Just turn that heat down slightly. Those tomatoes are actually now at the point where they've just started to break down. Beautiful consistency. That's where I wanted that. So the tomatoes have stewed down to the consistency we're after. So at this point, we're going to throw in our yellow mustard seeds. Without adding whole spices or anything, you need to cook it out so it releases its flavour. Again, with Dr. Hazelnut, it releases the oils, it releases its flavour into the dish. Probably about 1 teaspoon of yellow mustard seeds I've added to that. So we just need to fry that off in the tomatoes. It doesn't take long at all. Now we're going to add our garlic. 1 clove of crushed garlic. Let that garlic cook slightly. Just going to turn that down onto a low heat. Into that now I'm just going to roughly chop these herbs. The easiest way to do it is you roll it up all into one little bunch, hold it all together, very quickly, smash it out with a knife. That's perfectly fine. Add that to that now, plus about 100 mils of tomato juice. You could use water if you don't want to use the tomato juice. I'm going to add the tomato juice because as it reduces it down, it's going to concentrate the flavour of that tomato as well. And now we'll just let that simmer for about 3 to 4 minutes until it comes down to consistency. Now our quinoa is finished cooking, we're just going to strain that out over the sink. Now we're just going to put that into a bowl. Just need to wait on our sweet potato. It might take a little bit longer. Oh, actually our sweet potato is ready as well. Again, this can come off. As you can see, sweet potato is soft and it crushes under very little pressure on my fingers. So add that to the bowl as well. Just move the tomato off to the back heat. On the front heat, it's going to heat up some olive oil. It's a beautiful copper pan.
It seems to be a lot of oil in it.
It's just enough olive oil to lubricate the pan. At this point our pan is now hot. You can see by this now because the oil is just reaching its smoking temperature. In Asian cookery, that is known as the breath of the wok. And then you don't cook in a wok. I know we're not cooking in a wok today, but you don't cook in a wok until you start to see that and your wok has reached that temperature. So when I throw the onion in, I get a beautiful sizzle straight away. Quick caramelisation, quick colour. Just until your onion starts to go opaque. That's as long as you need to cook that for. And this then go straight into the bowl with our quinoa and our sweet potato. And it's just about come down to the consistency that I'm after. I'm just going to leave that onto the side now. Turn everything off. This is just going to take a quick mash. The sweet potato is there to bind everything together. The quinoa, of course, is for your protein, your carbohydrates. It's a good balance of protein and carbohydrate in this. Of course, this being a burger, we will have to finish this off with a bun. Here I've got a seeded cob. Of course, if you are watching a carbohydrate intake, you don't have to have bread with it. You could just have it as an open burger with your lettuce, your burger patty, and your tomato salsa. It would still be delicious that way. But a burger is just not a burger without a bun. You need to put your pan back on. Another small quantity of olive oil. This is just to stop the burger from sticking to the bottom of the pan. And at this point, I'm going to form the burger patty. Just need a little bit of the baking paper. This is just to sit the burger on. It makes it easier to pick it up and move the burger around. And onto there, I'm just going to get a nice spoonful of the mix. I'm just going to use that to form the shape of a burger patty. Hands being clean, of course. Into the pan, just slide it in nice and gently. Just slice it in half. You can put it in the grill just until it's nicely toasted. A touch longer on that side. It's nearly there. Of course, be very gentle when turning this. It could break quite easily. Use a broad, flat spatula to pick it up. At this point, I'm going to take the burger off. Damn close to being cooked, and it is. We just set that to the side for a moment while we're waiting for our burger bun. Now bun's toasted. Just a little light colour on here. You could add butter to this if you're not a vegan. Of course, don't add margarine. It's probably one of the most unhealthy substances there is known to man. If you've ever tried a little experiment, try leaving a little bit of butter out in your garage and a little bit of margarine out. Actually see what will touch what. Nothing will touch your margarine.
As in insects?
As in insects, grubs, animals, bacteria even. Margarine is actually one molecule away from being a plastic. So on that, on top of the tomato salsa on the bottom of the bun, let's put a handful of rocket. We'll slide a burger patty on top of that. Finish it with a bun on top. There you have it.